Do you ever wonder if you'd be happier living in San Diego or LA? Most people just assume it's about beaches and traffic, but they don't really learn the big differences until after they make the move. And some of those differences, they might completely change your mind. My name is Dan Parker with the Best Life Home Team. I'm a real estate agent here in San Diego. In this video, I'm going to break down what it's really like to live in both LA and San Diego from someone who's lived in Southern California their entire life and actually helped a lot of people move down to San Diego from Los Angeles. Now in this video, we're going to get into a lot of differences between San Diego and LA, but there's this one that we're going to start off with. We're going to get right into it, which has to be the biggest reason. From all of our clients that move from LA to San Diego and actually learning that the number one place people are moving to San Diego from is LA, it makes this thing very important. That thing is just that the vibe is different. The lifestyle in LA is professional, fast-paced, and entertaining, ambitious, a little bit chaotic. The urban sprawl feels endless. And on the other hand, San Diego is still professional. I would say maybe more business casual, professional, but it definitely is more laid back. It's more relaxed. It's a bit more outdoorsy and beach focused and local oriented. Now, it's hard to make an entire video based on a feeling, but the truth is, of course, I'm going to be a little bit biased living here in San Diego and living in Southern California my entire life. There are reasons why I live here now, but I'll tell you, absolutely, that's the number one reason is going to be the vibe. And if you don't believe me, then go experience it for yourself. Come visit both places and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Number two is going to be the reality of the cost of living between the two places. So San Diego, in general, is a bit more affordable than Los Angeles, especially when you factor in things like traffic, commute, and time savings. LA is known for its gridlock, and you have to imagine it's not just the money that you are spending on your gas, but what is your time worth as well? And how often do you need to drive to the office or commute to different places? That's going to be a big factor for a lot of people. But yes, San Diego is generally a little bit more affordable than LA. Redfin data shows that overall cost of living is around 3% higher in Los Angeles and Long Beach than it is in San Diego, and housing in LA costs around 10% more. But the truth is, just like a lot of things, you have to look where exactly you are living. There are a lot of different communities in a lot of different cities within the counties that are going to be very different from those numbers. So I have a hard time thinking that you should make a decision based off of a couple percentage points difference between one or the other, but just know, yeah, San Diego in general, if you look at Redfin, if you look at Best Places reports, if you look at apartments.com, they all show that San Diego is around 3% more affordable. But let's get back to that point I was talking about with the commute. LA traffic is infamous. In San Diego, we complain if it takes more than 25 minutes to get somewhere in general, but there's no question traffic in LA is far worse than it is in San Diego, with some sites out there stating that the commutes during rush hour are over 50% longer in Los Angeles compared to San Diego. And although LA recently lost its title as the absolute worst place for traffic, it still logs nearly 8 hours of average weekday congestion. Next up, let's talk about industry and work opportunities. Of course, Los Angeles has entertainment, fashion, tech, and finance, all of which sound like pretty fun industries to be involved with. Whereas San Diego is driven more by biotech, healthcare, defense, and more recently getting into more startups and tech as well. Definitely defense. Navy is the number one employer in the city of San Diego. And then some of the big dog tech companies have been coming down to San Diego as well. We have Google, we have Amazon Web Services, and then we also have Apple that bought that big campus that they're building out in Rancho Bernardo. And then when you add on top of that the opportunity for remote work that became really popular during the pandemic, although it has kind of teetered back a little bit, but more and more opportunities for remote work means that people can just choose where they want to live and not have to worry about commuting during work hours. And next up is the difference of neighborhood vibes and accessibility. So Los Angeles, it has a huge variety, but also a very large sprawl as well. And you've all heard of a lot of these places, from Hollywood to Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Malibu, Venice, even Brentwood, downtown Los Angeles. There are a lot of different neighborhoods all throughout Los Angeles, and they are quite diverse. But to be honest, San Diego isn't really that much different. It's just a smaller area. So it's a little bit easier to navigate. It has a huge density or diversity of micro communities as well. I mean, the difference between going to La Jolla, Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach, I mean, those are just beach communities, and then going inland to North Park, down to National City and Chula Vista, you have a ton of different options and very different feels just from one community to the next. But here's the thing that you need to know that a lot of people don't realize, especially moving from other areas outside of California, is both San Diego and Los Angeles, don't just assume you're going to be in a walkable area. It's actually, especially here in San Diego, it can be harder to find than a lot of people realize when they're starting to research the move. They think, oh, San Diego, it's flat. We can walk anywhere we want. And that's absolutely not the case unless, basically in San Diego, unless you live around Balboa Park, all those communities, North Park, South Park, University Heights, Hillcrest, Bankers Hill, all those areas are walkable communities. You have all of the coastal communities, which are, very, very expensive to live in. But the majority of us San Diegans, we do not live in walkable communities. And if you want to know more about the specific neighborhoods that places live in San Diego, we do have a book that is the only book on living in San Diego. You can find this on Amazon, or if you want it for free, I have the download, the Kindle and PDF version down below for you that you can check out and just, let me know what you think. Write us a review. We appreciate that. Next up, let's talk about the weather and the microclimates. In San Diego and Los Angeles, honestly, they're not going to be massively different when it comes to the weather, but San Diego is definitely going to win out on this one, whereas the weather's generally going to be a little bit sunnier and warmer and nicer year-round. But one of the bigger differences is not north to south in this scenario, but east to west, because when you're looking at where you are living in reference to the coast, that is going to have a big impact on what the weather is going to look like on a day-to-day basis. Now, what we say in general here in San Diego is every mile east you go is going to be about a degree hotter on an average day basis. Now, that doesn't mean if you go 100 miles, it's going to be 100 miles hotter. Obviously, that would be crazy. But in the 10 to 15 mile range as a crow flies, it's going to get about that much hotter when you're looking on a map. So if you have the opportunity to live on the coast, that's amazing, but you will have some more days with marine layers and just, it's not going to be quite as warm. If you go a little bit farther east, it's going to be sunnier and warmer. If you go 10 miles east, you absolutely are going to need to get some AC wherever you're living, because it's going to get toasty a few months out of the year. And then, of course, it's worth noting, especially in downtown LA, you're going to have more smog and quality of air, quality of air. Air quality is going to be much worse in LA than it is in San Diego. But again, this is kind of like a micro location thing as well. If you're in the city, if you're in the downtown area, if you're in the most congested urban areas, there's going to be more cars, there's going to be more smog, there's going to be worse quality of air. Whereas if you go to the suburbs, if you go a little bit farther out, if you're right on the coast, you're generally going to have better air quality as well. And next up is family friendliness in schools, which unfortunately, as I'm a real estate agent, I can't give you my personal opinion on these topics because that would be considered steering, and it's a big, big no-no when it comes to fair housing laws. However, I can give you some great resources. You have places like niche.com and greatschools.org, which integrates with Redfin, where you can look for school ratings and you can search for homes based on school ratings. Here's the thing I can tell you. There are a lot of really, really highly ranked schools in both Los Angeles and in all throughout San Diego County as well. So do a little bit of research and due diligence. The reality is majority of the neighborhoods that are the nicer neighborhoods are the more expensive neighborhoods. They also have higher school rankings. That's one of the things that's driving the home prices, or maybe vice versa. Maybe the home prices are driving the schools. Either way, when you're looking at your budget and the affordability, that is usually going to have a very, very big impact when it comes to finding the most highly ranked and highly rated schools around either San Diego or LA. I know I'm biased here, so it really depends on what you are looking for. But if you're after lifestyle and a community vibe that's hard to find in the city of 10 million people, San Diego might just win you over. If you are considering a move to San Diego or just want to explore the area, check out our free relocation book down below, or book a discovery session, which is a 15 to 30 minute call where we can actually go over the different neighborhoods and figure out which ones would be the best fit for you when you're in the research phase of figuring out where to move. All the links are down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.